Okay, so I've done it. I've switched DAWs, switched my DAW, and it was not an easy decision. I've been using Reason by Propellerheads for a long time. That program came out in around 2000, if I remember right, and I think I really started using it when Reason developed Record, which was at the time two separate programs. So it was Reason, which handled all the virtual instruments and everything, the sequencer, and then Record, which would allow you to do audio. You had to purchase both of them, and then you could record audio and then sync the two together. Then eventually, sometime after that, I can't remember exactly when it was, they combined the two of those together, and it was pretty awesome. It still is awesome. Reason is a great program. I love it. I think it's great. It's just there's a couple things that I can't get past, and a lot of other people that I've seen that I admire have done the same thing. And it's not an easy decision because a lot of time goes into it, a lot of money goes into it over the time, and I still have my license. I recently upgraded it. I've gotten a whole bunch of their REs, rack extensions that add a whole bunch of different sounds to it, different effects to it, and I really think it is a supremely creative DAW where you can get sounds super quick and it flows great. But the problem is it could be something very, very simple. Like I got a Keylab 61 keyboard, and as soon as I hooked it up to it, there are certain remote profiles that will work with it, and this one was not one of them. And of course, look around, and this is supported everywhere else. Like it's supported by Logic, which we'll get to in a little bit. All the other major DAWs, Bitwig, Fruity Loops, not Pro Tools. A lot of people don't seem to be supporting Pro Tools from what I'm seeing. A little bit of a falling out there from what I can tell, because Pro Tools was the industry standard. And I think they're trying to get back into it, but they got a lot of catching up to do. But what I ended up switching to, I tried a couple different DAWs throughout the years. I've tried Cubase, and at the time, Cubase, the bugs were just insane. This is a long time ago. I don't know how it is now, but let's just say I put a really bad taste in my mouth, and I'm not going to ever go back to Nuendo or Cubase. That's just my personal decision from my experience. So looking around, there's Live, which is great. That program is super popular. And that's another thing, is like it's super popular. So a lot of people have those sounds that are within Live. And DAWs don't have a specific sound, but they can sort of, it's almost like having the same playground, same tools to work with. I like having something slightly different, but at the same time, it needs to be popular enough that it's compatible with a lot of things. Compatible with hardware, that's the important thing. Compatible with hardware is so important. I don't think a lot of people understand the idea of having a studio in the box that you can control and have a tactile experience is so important. And I know it's very, very, very hard to put everything together and make it seamless, but it's got to be a way to make it work. I have a feeling with MIDI 2.0 coming out with profiles that they have on there, that's a definite possibility. I can't wait until MIDI 2.0 is adopted by both the hardware and the software at the same time, and the profiles sync up perfectly between each other. That will be a lovely day where, to me, I think hardware will not be able to compete. And I'm not sure why it's taken so long to get to that point and why we're still waiting, but I'm being patient with it. Only got so much more time left, so hurry it up. So back to Reason. I love Reason. I think it's great. I will always still use it. I'm going to use it for electronic stuff, but for recording guitar, vocals, all the standard rock kind of stuff, I've switched over to Logic. Reason why with Logic, it's at a good price point and it has pretty much everything that I need. I can, recording audio, it works great because of the scripts. It works great with keyboard controllers. That is the biggest thing. Also, they are adding new features, and at that price point too, it's incremental updates that have lasted for a long time. So you're getting these updates. You don't get them as many updates as some of the other DAWs like Live. Live is banging out the actual updates left and right, and they're very impressive updates. All the MIDI modifiers. Might have said that wrong, but the way that you can use MIDI with chords and with arpeggios, and also the way that you can adjust things within the piano roll, and you can select it where you can see just the notes within the scale and chords, all the stuff that I'm finding out. I'm working with Scalar and kind of does that. That's another reason why I switched over to Logic. I'm just looking for enough flexibility to let me get what's in my head out to the computer and recorded and then sent out to the world. So the less things in the way, the better. And really the hardware integration was probably the biggest problem. As soon as my Keylab 61 didn't work with Reason, I tried it a little bit. I even talked to support with Reason support. I talked with Arturia support. And the two companies didn't seem to see eye to eye, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what the deal is, because the Keylab 61 Mark II and Mark I were remote. They were programmed for their remote protocol. So you could use all the buttons, well, most of the buttons on there. But certain things like being able to use the knobs as faders and pan controls and all that, and being able to touch something and see what it's controlling within the DAW, a lot of that wasn't set up. So yes, I have switched over, and it's kind of painful. There's certain things with Reason blocks. I love how that works. I have, like I said, a lot of effects that are in there, super creative effects that have given me some amazing sounds, very spatial stereo sounds that I really love that sound. And like I said, I'm not completely done with Reason. I'm still going to use it, and I'm still hoping that they can catch up as a DAW. I have a feeling that eventually will. I just hopefully they're on the MIDI 2.0 bandwagon, and they'll actually do the profiles and all that. But took everything that I like within Reason, and I've tried to find a similar workflow or a similar way where everything works within Logic. An example of that would be the mix bus. Reason has a SSL bus compressor, and at the time they had the Ozone maximizer as a rack extension. It's not there anymore, but that combination between the two was great. Another thing that's huge that Reason has is plugin support. If everything is within their garden, within their system with rack extension, so you have to purchase through Reason. I think that was a big thing with plugins, because it was taking a certain percentage of plugins profits, because they have to go into the system, kind of like Apple or Google does and all that kind of stuff. They take a percentage to go to their store and sell stuff. But of course, they handle the business side. But anyways, not worried about all that. The good part with rack extensions is that if something is old, it's still supported. When they switched over to M1, M2, M3, processors, that was a quick little change within the programming, and every single plugin works on the M1 processors for Macs, which is great. And what I've done is I went ahead with Logic and I created a template. So with the template, I'll be able to just click Logic, everything will be up. I'll have everything exactly set how I want. That's another thing that Logic had, is it had labels for inputs and outputs, custom labels. So that way, when I see something, I can just go, oh, that's my Helix. I will set that on that track and record Helix on track 3 or 4 or whatever it is. And just having simple things that make it easier for me to just sit down and record is great. It does have arrangements, which is really nice. That's one thing that I like about Logic. It's not quite as good as what Blocks does, but it's close enough. So I still have one song that I didn't finish completely in Reason, and it's a guitar song, sort of grungy-ish, a little bit like the song Room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish that song, and then from then on, I'm going to move everything over to Logic, especially since I have a template. So with the template, if anyone's interested in me going over how I created the template, how I set it up, it's a very simple template because I don't like having too many things out there. I don't want to get overwhelmed. I just want to concentrate on the music and have exactly what I need. But yeah, if you're interested and you want a full explanation or a full tour of how I created the template, what did I change, things like that, and that template's going to be constantly evolving. I'm going to keep adding to it or sort of refining the template to make it better for me over time. But it's a songwriting template. All I have to do is go in, click Logic, boom, it's open. It's set to, it's set on the guitar part. I can start recording, have the arrangement part, all this other stuff. It's got everything there ready to go. So yeah, I'll probably, like I said, if you'd like to see a demo of that and me actually using it, or at least just explaining it, I could do that. And I plan on making some music with that. And I think it's going to be pretty nice. I like how Logic has so much to it. It's very established. From what I can tell, it's stable. That was one big thing with Reason back in the day. It was like the only stable DAW at the time, where everything else, especially Cubase for me, crashed nonstop. Nuendo crashed. I was on PC at the time, but that's probably a big explanation for it. But hey, oh no, did I start the PC Mac Wars? Oh no, did I do that? Okay, sorry. But yeah, Mac's better. PC kind of sucks. No, I know. PC's gotten a lot better in the past couple of years and stuff like that. I said I'm back from the day of what was the really bad one? Was it 98 SE or something like that? Oh gosh, blue screens everywhere. It was horrible experience. I would sit there in the middle of a track and things would just crash and I would lose everything. God, it pissed me off so much. Yeah. Mac, super stable, especially the new ones. I'm sorry. It's just awesome. So, and yeah, fight me in the comments. I don't care. But anyways, I just wanted to explain everything, explain why I switched over. So from what you see from now on for tutorials and things like that, it'll be more Logic focused. I'm still a Reason user. I'm still going to use them, especially for the electronic stuff. And like I said, if they start catching up, I'm gonna go back to them. So just come on, Reason. It's your turn. I can't call them Propellerheads anymore. It's Reason Studios. So yeah, come on, guys. I'm rooting for you. You're awesome. You can do it. Just do what the people are asking for. You got to just listen to at least some of them, and you got to give them what they want sometimes. And you have. It's just Reason Studios. I love you. I will always love you. You are in a special place in my heart. I want you to know that. I'm sorry I'm switching to Logic, but I had to. And Logic, it's been a really nice adventure. I'm enjoying everything so far. I'm having fun with it, and it's working out great. So I have love for everything, everywhere and everything. So just wanted to explain that. Okay. Speaking of love, I hope all of you have a wonderful day and a wonderful night and morning and all that kind of fun stuff. And you wake up and you're happy and you just get to forget about the world that's around us for a little while. I think that'll be good. Go make some music. Go in your studio, make some music, and enjoy life.